News Day continues here on One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. Instead of herd immunity, the government is now gunning for what it calls population protection through a massive COVID-19 inoculation drive. We have vaccine expert panel head Dr. Nina Gloriani joining us via Zoom to help us make sense of what this is. Hi, Dr. Gloriani. Good afternoon. What do you think prompted the
Yes, good afternoon, Sean.
Hi, yes, nice
Happy
to have
to
you
see
with
you.
us. I know there. Now we can see each other.
Okay.
Doc Gloriani, what do you think prompted the DOH to revise its vaccination target from herd immunity to containment or control?
Well, actually, with all these constraints on the limited, vaccine supplies, we may not actually reach our target of 70%, no? But that considers the adult lang naman. So I think DOH is gearing towards more focusing on the high transmission areas, the high-risk groups, and then veering away from the what we are usually advocating about herd immunity.
Yes.
No, but protection, population protection is probably really a better term because we want to protect as many as possible, and especially those who are at higher risk for
Right.
exposure.
Right, Doc, I'm interested. You said that you realize, or maybe people or the vaccine authorities and health authorities were discussing, and you said that they're not seeing that we can achieve herd immunity. So ito na lang. But how come? What are the reasons why herd immunity seems like an unattainable goal at the moment?
Because of the limited vaccine supplies, it's more that the constraint in the supply. So I think the government is just being, realistic, but is still working towards more of the population being immunized and then, of course, protected. So that is a calculated sort of change from actually using the herd immunity term, which can actually vary so much, no?
All right. Well, this new term that we are using, is it actually a thing in public health or in other, expertise maybe? Or is it something that was made up?
I think it's made up, but it will actually reflect what we want to happen. To protect the population, and by population we mean a big part of the population, without actually saying how many. If we just look at the areas that are now surging with the surge in these cases, and who else are actually at higher risk, then we focus on those. So protecting the population who are at higher risk for contracting COVID-19.
All right, so basically going where with the flow here, Dr. Gloriani. Now the FDA is saying that they have received favorable recommendations from vaccine experts on the use of Pfizer's jab on children aged 12 to 15-year-old. Can you tell us about what you have so far on this issue?
Well, actually, it's not just us. It's the scientific committee of the FDA who made that recommendation, and it will be finalized soon. I don't know who that is. Oh my God.
All right. And Doc, any reaction to other countries that are requiring specific vaccine brands, mostly, of course, Western vaccine brands from foreign travelers? Can you tell us in any way how this will impact us, especially as mostly our vaccines are from Sinovac?
Yes, I know. Well, actually, we tried to review that, the recommendation or what the Western countries will do. But they, in fact, added any WHO-approved vaccine will also be included. So right now, we have Sinopharma in the EUL list, the emergency use listing of the WHO, and I think Sinovac has applied also. So eventually we will see that. Although I don't really think that recommendation or that requirement is fair, For as long as we get any job, I think that should do it. So I don't know, but it's the Western thinking. And
Yeah.
but there is some what's this the some other options for us. So we will see. So
All right.
that's the problem with this our overseas workers now.
Right, well, hoping that gets resolved and with more clarity in due time. Thank you so much for taking the time out to talk to us. Vaccine expert panel head, Dr. Nina Gloriani.
Thank you very much, Sean, and good afternoon.
And over 6,400 new COVID-19 infections have been added to the country's total caseload. The total tally now stands at above 1,200,000, some 48,000 of which are still considered active. The virus has killed at least 210 more patients overnight, pushing the death toll to over 20,300. Meanwhile, recoveries have surged to 1,131,000, with 4,000 new survivors logged today. As for COVID-19 vaccination, nearly 4,500,000 doses have been administered across the country. Over 1 million Filipinos have been fully immunized after receiving their second doses. And the health department has flagged the uptick in COVID-19 cases across the Visayas and Mindanao. To tell us more about that, we have Jen Calimon joining us live from Malabon. Jen, which areas in the Vismin are seeing an increase in COVID-19 transmissions?
Yes, Sean, as the health department sees a downward trend in COVID-19 cases in Metro Manila, the agency has flagged a continuous uptick in infections in Visayas and Mindanao. The DOH reports that the country's average daily reported cases is at around 5,300, lower than the average of 5,800 during the first 2 weeks of May. But the agency warns this is not the time to let our guards down, as the number of cases are decreasing at a slower pace. The DOH notes that there's a spike in infections in regions outside the NCR Plus. In Visayas, Region 6 has the fastest and highest growth rate, while in Mindanao, Regions 9 and 10 have the highest spike in cases. On the other hand, Sean, Laguna, Cavite, Bulacan, and Rizal are showing decline in cases, while Regions 1 and 4B are being closely monitored due to the high number of cases. The DOH also noted that while the number of cases decreased, there's also a decrease in the number of tests being conducted. They said that the decline in tests conducted could possibly be due to LGUs shifting to antigen testing, resulting in fewer tests being conducted in the laboratories. Meanwhile, the epidemiology bureaus appealed to those in the priority list to do their part and get vaccinated as soon as possible.
Gusto natin mag-slowly shift tayo to looser community quarantine restrictions, and our LGUs are encouraged to utilize more granular as possible na lockdowns, so that people are free to move. Pero again, itutuhog ko siya dun sa sinasabi natin na yung lockdowns, yung mga having safety protocols in place, those are workplace and LGU accountabilities. Siguro the most that what we really can appeal for is we really have to have our own ambag, no? Alam ko nag-aambag na tayo lahat, pero yun nga konting tiis pa, no? Siguro dalawang bagay. Alam ko marami nang nag-iintay sa bakuna.
Yes, Sean, the DOH Epidemiology Bureau is also seeking a long-term solution to the gaps in the country's healthcare capacity. They say that the national government and the local government units can coordinate to meet the surge demand and make our healthcare system pandemic-proof. Sean?
Thank you for that update. That was News 5's Jen Calimon joining us live from Malabon. Miss Universe 2020, Andrea Meza of Mexico, has received her first dose of Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine in New York City. The newly crowned queen got inoculated at a pharmacy in Manhattan. This was her first public appearance after being crowned as Miss Universe last week. The 26-year-old software engineer hopes that she can inspire others to get inoculated as well. And back here in the Philippines, Miss Universe Philippines Rabia Mateo has cleared the air on the rumors between her and a former Pinoy Big Brother housemate, allegedly dating. In an Instagram story, Rabia reposted a photo with Andrea Bruyette with the hashtags No Malice and I'm Not Available. The two were earlier spotted together in California. This also comes on the heels of Rabia's rumored breakup with her longtime boyfriend. For more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. I'm Sean Yao. We are One News.